Hey, Lauren, thanks so much for being here today. Thanks for taking the time to sit down today.
So sometimes I feel like a fraud because I'm like, they know I'm a basket case, and here I am, praising God. I love to be home. I'm an introvert, but I also know that God really did only put me here for one reason, and it's to sing and to write like poetry. So when I'm there, when I'm singing worship, it's a very, I'd rather say selfish, but that's where I connect to God, and because I'm able to do that, I can help others connect to God. So
I love that. It's worth it. It's worth it to put the effort in and to do what God's called you to do. That's powerful.
Yes.
So in the midst of the anxiety, depression, in that cycle of battling with mental health, was there ever any anger that went along with that?
In the last 4 or 5 months laying in bed being so angry at God, just, there's my Bible, there's my journal, Jeff's coming in, he's like, come on, and I was so angry, and I was laying in bed and just, having a conversation with God saying, just take me home, home to you, to heaven, to Jesus. I want to be here, and that's a very common place I get to.
In the moments of anger, where you're mad at God, you're mad at life, you're mad at the circumstances, what do you do? How do you choose faith in that? Because I think it's one thing to choose faith in the face of anxiety or sadness, but when you get to that secondary level of, now I'm angry about this, how do you choose faith there?
I write. When I'm angry, I write. If you open my journals, you'd be like, this is not a Christian woman. And it's like, God knows it, whether I say it or not. So it goes into, and in there is usually, I write, usually I call it rage writing. And I just, and then about a page in, it just like falls upon my heart, Psalm, any verse really. And I'll turn to it and then I'll write the scripture. And I just write the words because I need to see them, I need to have them flow through me, and that's just my armor. But it's not intentional. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm angry, let me go put on my armor of God. I'm angry, I want to throw things, but the one thing that I turn to is just my pen, and it's almost like it brings me to the word, kind of the way God programmed me. So it's, as angry as I am at God, that there's absolutely nothing that I could say in any of my writings, in any of my words, that he's ever going to look at me and say, that's it, we're done. And I think that there are times that I'm like, let me see how far I can go, and how angry can I be? And that sounds so silly, but I really do. Sometimes I'm mad, Sometimes I feel hopeless, or sometimes I feel sad, but I never feel faithless.